So listen, there was a terrible villain who lived way back then. Well, not as terrible as Majin Buu, but still pretty bad.
It's hard to believe that he can move so quickly. Are we sure he's responsible for them all?
His astounding speed is what makes Beerus so devastating.
This is hardly the first time he's caught me off guard with his quickness. The truth is that he's the one who trapped me inside the Z-Sword.
Hey guys, what's up? Here is Max. Do you remember the scene where Gohan trained with the Z-Sword in the Majin Buu saga? And do you also remember that the Z-Sword was useless in the saga that ended up breaking when trying to cut a powerful metal called Kachin? Well, when the sword broke, a Kaioshin was released. And we found out that this old man is a Kaioshin of 15 generations. That is, of 75 million years of the current moment of the manga. For you to have an idea, this old half-dope is much older than all that confusion involving Moro, the confusion involving Majin Buu and Bibidi, and much more. It may not seem like it, but this old man brings us a lot of important information from the past, such as that Beerus was weaker than Majin Buu 75 million years ago, even though he was a god of destruction. Did you know that? The old man brings us a lot of information that is not explicitly placed in the anime and manga, but there is a lot of information given to us in an unpretentious way that if we pay attention and make some connections, we can create very interesting theories about the past of the gods of Dragon Ball. In this video, through official information given to us in a subliminal and hidden way, I will create a script that explains what happened 75 million years ago in Dragon Ball, and that gives us answers about many things related to the gods. Ready to find out more about the Dragon Ball universe? So stay connected to the channel and let's go to the video. 75 million years ago, two warriors with incredible powers appeared in Universe 7, and these warriors were twin brothers named Beerus and Champa. They were being trained by the angel Whis, and they were so strong that it was impossible to choose just one of them to be a destroyer. When the time came to find out who would become Universe 7's next Hakaishin, they decided to face each other for the position. And after a long, extremely violent and balanced fight, Beerus won. Champa is very angry and frustrated with his defeat, but there was still a chance for him to become a Hakaishin, but he would have to go to another universe, Universe 6. Champa did not want to be left behind his brother or be considered inferior to him in a universe that Beerus rules as a deity, so he accepts the proposal and goes to the other universe. After a while, a special ritual is performed to link the lives of the new gods of destruction with the current gods of creation, and after more time, the day of the meeting between the gods arrives, a meeting that takes place from millennium to millennium where all the gods gather to talk about many things, and in this meeting, something different happens. When Beerus performed the ritual with the Kaioshin, he was a very calm and young-looking person, but in this meeting, a total crazy old man appeared. This happened because the Kaioshin accidentally merged with a crazy witch, which affected his appearance and personality. In the middle of the meeting, he started doing some really crazy things, bothering everyone with tricks and cheating, even making Beerus a laughingstock. Beerus didn't like this one bit, and in a fit of rage threatened to destroy the entire Kai dimension. But Whis warned Beerus that if he destroyed the Kaioshin, he would die. It was then that the destroyer decided to seal the old Kaioshin into a sword, and thus he solved two problems. And the old man would not cause him stress and would also be safe inside the sword. After doing so, Beerus returned to his planet and slept peacefully for a long time. In the time that Beerus slept, Universe 7 was without the god of destruction and also without the god of creation, since Old Ro was sealed in the Z-Sword. That is, the universe was totally unbalanced, and then Universe 7 went to last place in the mortal average, becoming the worst and most chaotic among all universes. 14 generations passed and no Kaioshin had managed to reverse the mess that Beerus made by sealing Ro, but finally a new Kaioshin was born that would later be known as Dai Kaioshin, and he can think of a chance to save Universe 7, making several Kais become superior Kaios, and from that moment on, Universe 7 had 5 Kaioshins to work with. One taking care of each sector, north, south, east, and west, and all supervised by the Dai Kaioshin, who was the main one among them and who had his life linked to Beerus. While all this was happening, Beerus was asleep. The function of a god of destruction is to eliminate threats to the universe, but since Beerus was in a deep sleep, the Kaioshins were forced to do this job. In a moment, Moro, the devourer of worlds, appeared, an evil mage who was a true force of nature, and he already destroyed 300 planets in his eternal hunger for life. The Kaioshins needed to go to this threat to fight it, and then the Grand Supreme Kai managed to seal the terrible villain with a special technique that reduced his divine powers. 5 million years later, the mage Bibidi appears, and unlike Moro, he had an ally, a creature called Majin Buu. Knowing the danger of the gods of creation, Bibidi decided to kill them all. Daikaioshin, seeing that Boo was too powerful, came to the conclusion that they couldn't defeat him, and so he decides to sacrifice himself to save the universe. But knowing that Beerus would also die if he was killed, Daikaioshin asked the other Supreme Kais to delay the demon while he passed his life on to the youngest Kaioshin, who was Shin. So when Daikaioshin passed his life to Shin, the Kaioshin from the east has the life that was shared with Beerus. After that, Daikaioshin faces Boo and ends up being absorbed. But being absorbed, he modified Majin Buu's personality, making the demon driven by pure thirst for destruction have a much more silly and gentle personality, and thus Bibidi loses all control over the beast and is forced to seal Majin Buu. After 5 million years, Majin Buu is released and again causes chaos. Shin decides to use the Z-Sword, and for that he calls Gohan. But as we know, the sword is broken, and then the Kaioshin that had been sealed by Beerus appears. The old Kaioshin says that Majin Buu is stronger than the person who sealed him in the Z-Sword. That is, Beerus 75 million years ago was not as powerful as he is today. He is extremely weaker, actually. The script explains why Universe 7 is in such a mess, because many years ago, Beerus broke the balance of the universe by sealing away the Kaioshin, and also being remiss in his work all this time. And even with the Daikaioshin's efforts, we can theorize that the universe never managed to fully recover because of the Destroyer's negligence. Despite this being a theory, almost everything said here is official information, either spoken in the anime and manga itself or in interviews and official guides. I theorized Beerus in this story as being proclaimed a god recently because according to Kaioshin, he was weaker than Majin Buu, and I think he could only have that level of power when he was still a novice god. Another theory I gave here is Beerus and Champa being from Universe 7. There is no official source about that, but since the two are twin brothers, it is obvious to deduce that they were both born in the same universe, and I think that the stronger among them would want to be the destroyer in the universe they were born in, while the loser would stick with the second option. Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about in this video. What did you guys think of this theory? I think this would clear up a lot of things about the gods of Dragon Ball, and it would be really nice to have an official story for the franchise that goes into more detail about Beerus' backstory and the origin of those gods. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe as you become a part of the channel's 150,000 subscribers. Until the next time, goodbye.